Hello, 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 all of my magnificent manifestors. So, welcome to Hustle Money Coaching. And this is our December training. And actually, for the month of December, since I will be traveling a bit, we will not be doing a live, and our Q&A will now be moving forward into 2019 will be a coaching call, a Q&A coaching call. So when you get access to your to the lounge, there should be a call-in number, and that's where you call in on the date that shows when the coaching Q&A call is. Okay, not for December, but moving forward for January and all of 2019. So today our training is on goal setting and basically not goal setting. Why goal setting is fucking useless. Okay, because if you are setting these goals and you're like, I'm gonna lose 10 pounds, right? And you don't have a plan and you are not energetically aligned, and the goal is based on what everybody else is doing. The goal is coming from a place of not being good enough, not having enough, not looking enough, not fitting into some weird ass society programming, then you're never going to fucking make it. It's just not gonna happen because the alignment is off. You set this goal from outside of the vortex, right? The vortex is the big energy. In my mind, I see it as a like you would a volcano, right? The way that you look at the vibrational chart, right? It's very narrow at the bottom and it spirals up and becomes bigger and bigger at the top. So that's the vortex of all good energy, right? Everything there is love or above, and everything in there is alignment, and everything you want is in there, and it feels really, really fucking good in there. And when you're in there and you set not a goal, right? Because a goal, we've been programmed to makes us feel like we've got to work really hard at it. We've got to be 100% committed. We got to, hustle, grind, what the fuck ever to get it. Whereas if you get into the vortex, you can feel that setting an intention. This is what I intend. I intend to do this year. I intend to do this very soon. I intend to do this week. There's an intention there. And a lot of times when you set your intention and then you get into the vortex or you get into alignment, okay, and that's what I mean when I say it's the same thing, then you allow yourself to stay open and in a receptive mode so the universe can do its work and deliver you the situations and the circumstances and the material things that you need to actually accomplish that intention, right? You are not doing and forcing anything. You set an intention and you are allowing. When we set goals, then immediately people go, well, what are your action steps? What are you going to be doing? How are you going to be doing this? And it takes you out of alignment because now you're focused on, oh my God, I got to do this. I got to do that. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get these things that I need? Right. And as soon as you start focusing on the how, you're out of alignment. So practice starting this month, but moving into 2019, no more goal setting. Like we're totally going to create extraordinary lives utilizing the process of intention and allowing. So what do I mean by setting an intention and allowing? Well, you first have to get into a good feeling place. If you have not explored the vibrational chart that is in the Hustle Money Lounge, please go look at it. Identify where you are 90% of the time vibrationally with your emotions, right? Your emotions are the guide. Your emotions tell you whether or not you were moving closer to what you were manifesting and your desires, or if you're moving further. If you are in a negative emotional state, you are moving further away from what it is that you want to manifest. If you are in a positive or even a neutral emotional state, you are moving closer to what it is that you are trying to manifest. Now, if you find that you are on the lower end of the emotional vibrational scale, there's no way you can go from fear to love in one leap. It has to be a gentle rotation and a pivoting, not quite the word that I'm looking for, but it's a gentle pivot to a better feeling vibration. And a lot of you send me messages and you're like, but LaMeel, like I feel like this and I don't have the money for this and I don't have this and I don't have that. Well, remember that you get how you feel about your intention, right? So if you feel like it's never coming, it's never coming. We live in an attraction-based universe. It's not going to fucking come. If you have an appointment with me and you are worried as fuck that you're going to be late because of something else that's going on, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be late. That's a manifestation. You get how you're feeling about what your desire is, right? What your intention is. If your intention is to get into a program and make a plan and make payments and you do it, but the whole time that you do it, it's like, oh my god, if this doesn't work, I gotta find some way to do, like, you do it from outside of the vortex. You do it from an unaligned emotion. You'll have trouble and you'll struggle until you decide not to. So it doesn't mean that because you made the initial decision from a place of a lower vibration that everything pertaining to that is not going to work out, right? As soon as you realize I am in a lower vibration about this idea or intention, I'm getting a little bit of a download for you. So it's on my mind to share this, right? Storytelling. Okay, so in November, right, I had already decided earlier in the year that it was time to move. And then I talk about this in manifesting a home, right? I got into a real holding place with manifesting this house, which was like so insane for me. And while I was in that holding place, the man that I was seeing, says, let's get a place together. And I should have said no, but at one point in my life, that is what I wanted, right? So what I was dealing with was that, yes, at some point I did want this, but I don't think I really want this now, because when it came to me, it was not like hell yes, like let's fucking do this. This is going to be fucking great, right? And I tell you, if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Fuck the lukewarm. And so it wasn't, but it was something that I had wanted for a long time. And now I suddenly didn't want it. And so I was like, well, maybe I just need to get this experience. And so then I got into, this whole vibrational holding pattern of what his desires were for a house, location, and what he saw was doable was not in alignment with what I wanted. And it just so wasn't. And so much so to where we ended up in a scenario where he was looking for a place and I was looking for a place. Like, we didn't even want to live in the same fucking state. Okay. That's how unaligned this is, and how in denial I was feeling like I needed to have this experience. And the truth is, it wasn't that I wanted the experience for me. I wanted the experience for my son. And so, because we have a son together. So, I kept pushing myself. And I finally, my daughter said to me one day, they weren't even talking to me. She was talking to her boyfriend, and he was like, "So, yo, what's mom doing? Is she gonna end up moving before Thanksgiving, or what? What's going on?" And my daughter said, "I don't know. If she quits fucking with, what's his name, she would have been moved by now." I was like, "Oh shit!" Like that was so right. And so I just got into this place where, okay, these are the things that we agree on. These are the things that I'm willing to compromise on, and so I'll just go with this, right? Right. And it really wasn't like really what I wanted in my heart of hearts. So, but I got into alignment with it because a lot of it was, right? And so then I just started taking out the things that weren't, like moving to a different state. I knew that my will is strong and I know what was best in alignment for me and my kids. And so I wasn't going to change, leave the state, et cetera, et cetera. And I just trusted that the universe would deliver to me a situation where he would be fine with it. So then the conversation came up that, well, if you find a place first, we'll just move there. And if I find a place, will you move in there with me? And I was like, oh, no. Like it just was so fucking unaligned. And so I found a place um in November, got approved, had a move date, like the whole nine. But I knew if I moved there, he would move in. And I was just so unaligned with it and was so in a resistant place about the confrontation and about how I was feeling about this relationship because the relationship in and of itself was no longer a hell yes. So I was in conflict internally with fully ending this relationship in a way that wasn't going to be ugly. So that was the other thing. I was trying to figure out the how to end the relationship in a way that things would be peaceful for me. For me. And moving in with him was definitely a hell no and totally against what I was aligned with, right? So anyway, like a week or two before it's time to move in, um, I realized like I'm in 100% unalignment with this move. I'm not even fully, the house had everything that I intended for it to have, but I was not in love with the house. And I did not want to move in the house and have to deal with telling him I didn't want to live with him because I had still not yet told him. And so ultimately, what happened, instead of trying to get in alignment with all of that, I just decided, universe, get me the fuck out of this. Like, in this, in a way where it's 100% non-confrontational for me. And so then I get a message from the owner that says that her father had a heart attack. They're not going to be able to move her parents out of the house. And so they have to postpone everything until the new year. Universe delivered to me the thing I was most in alignment with. So, so, so there you have it, right? But I kept getting like what I was feeling about the situation. Like, I want it, I don't want it. I got the house, I don't really want to live. There's tension in the relationship. Like, things kept coming up to where I finally, once I got that message, and then I knew he was pursuing another home, then I was just like, I'm not aligned with this. This is, another scenario came up to show me that exactly what I was feeling, like, this is not an aligned endeavor. And so I used that very next scenario to say, this is exactly why I don't think we should live together. Like, it's just not going to work. And because he was already in motion with a deal on his house, he didn't really care, um, as I suspected. And so there was no um, lashback from me saying we shouldn't live together. Right. So then I had to get into alignment with, I don't really want this relationship. Like, it's 100% toxic, da 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 da. And I withdrew myself and really got into alignment with what is the best thing for me. And I want this to be painless. You know, when you've been in a relationship, toxic or not, with somebody, and you really feel like you love them, and you really feel like, you have some attachment, or I don't know, some level of obligation, or maybe it's just a rough patch, or any of those things. Um, it's hard to let go. But what I was experiencing was that I could be very, very close to a vibration of love. And if in fact some previous commitment drew him to me, because typically he would be, when I was in that level of vibration, he would be so far away from me, so busy, all kind of shit was going on, right? Because I'm vibrating so high, we just can't be a match. And if a situation, previous commitment brought us close together, like, he could be around for just a few hours, but in order for us to really communicate and interact with each other, I had to lower my vibration so much, to the point where there would be a ripple effect in my life, in my home, with my children, and with scenarios for almost a week after seeing him, because I started putting more and more space in between, because it didn't feel good. Like, having him around just didn't feel good. And because that's how I felt, sure enough, when he showed up, everything felt bad. Like, my kids' energies changed, and everything was changing. My kids would be like, things would be going great. And then as soon as you guys get like real serious, stuff goes really bad. So, and I was thinking, well, it's him, it's him, it's him. And in reality, his vibration hadn't changed, right? What I was doing was lowering my vibration to interact with him, but it also, I lowered my vibration to be on the frequency of other foolishness, bullshit, and fuckery that then started coming into my life. And then I would start working on my vibration, and we wouldn't be a match, but it became a lot of work. And I realized one day driving him home, like, the night before, like, I was going totally, totally crazy for like 2 or 3 hours, trying to bring myself to some place where we could have maybe a fun conversation. And it just never happened. It just never happened. Like, trying to even just get myself in a place, an energetic space of watching TV with him, was just uncomfortable. And then my vibration was off, and then I was mad at myself for doing it. Then all hell broke loose, and it took me a week to get my vibration back stable. I mean, I was having ups and downs and ups and downs, and less downs and more up and less down. And so I was moving up the vibrational scale, but it took me like a week to get back. And I was like, I can't keep fucking doing this. Like, it's a wrap. I just don't want to. Because here's the thing, I'm not going to make myself available for bullshit. And so I stopped, right? And uh the conversation of stopping was easy, but then I got all of these emotions, and lower emotions about what I knew his next move would be, right? And what I knew his next move would be is, now I need to see my son, much more often than he ever has. And right, that's a pattern. So then I realized, oh shit, like, this is a pattern. I know where this is going. So I knew that in that dialogue, he was going to say, well, we'll just go to court. Okay. So now I have to break this pattern. so that I can continue to move up. Because if I participate in this pattern, it's going to lower my vibration, and then I'm back on his wavelength, and then he's going to drag me through court, and he always takes me to court, even though he's the one who has, violated or whatever the fuck he's going to make up. So that's just not a vibration I'm available for anymore. I've decided I am no longer available for that bullshit. And it did take me, and he did come with that same craziness, and he did come with drama too, because he is an energy vampire. He came with some drama to get some attention and get conversation from me, because he hadn't had any conversation from me in weeks. And then leading off of that drama, because he didn't really get full from that interaction, then we went into the whole thing about our son. So now it's breaking that energy pattern. But I realized that I'm going to get the same response from him, because I feel the same way about this bullshit that he does all the time. Or I can change how I'm feeling about this. You know what? Regardless of what we have to go through, this is going to be the end. I already know what our visitation, we don't really have visitation, what our custody paperwork says. I know what I can do. I know what I can't do. I'm not required by law to do anything. And so the guilt scenario, that's an energy vampire expression, you don't respond to. The manipulation and the threats, that's an energy vampire response, you don't respond to. Then the bullying is about, being in control and trying to manipulate. You simply don't respond. And by staying in a higher vibration, he's going to be so tied up with his own drama, foolishness, and fuckery because of how he feels about this situation. We're not going to be a match. I'm not going to have to deal with this. And I just literally shifted my vibration up in such a way to where now I'm not available for the foolishness and the fuckery, and I don't have to experience the foolishness and the fuckery. And then I was in alignment, and I got back into the vortex, and then I got the answer on how to deal with this up front. One time I may, have to go to court, but guess what? The foolishness and fuckery will end. This will be the last time that this kind of thing happens, because I'm breaking the cycle. I'm out of the vibration, and I have gently shifted myself even out of a very negative cycling relationship. Right. But all of that had nothing to do with him. Okay. All of that had to do with me and me shifting my vibration. So I had to shift my vibration about the house. And when I shifted, I got a house, then I shifted, and the house disappeared in the perfect way for me. And then I shifted, and I ended a relationship, and then I shifted, I ended, you know what I'm saying? So all of that was me shifting. So when there's shit going on in your life, right? And we're in the holiday times, and people are buying stuff, and you're going to have to do refunds, and you're going to have to exchange stuff, and all those things are going to be happening. Like when you don't get a refund or your package doesn't arrive on time, that is not about anything other than you and your vibration and your alignment, and you being ready to be ready, and experiencing the synchronicities, because you're in the right place at the right time doing the right thing. And when you're out of alignment, then you miss stuff, and stuff happens. And there's a gap in time. There's a gap in what the fuck ever, right? So, um, you yelling at the salespeople, you yelling at the people uh, at the stores, you calling people and demanding, like, where's your stuff, and why isn't it here, as if they're the fucking delivery people or whatever. You're getting what you're feeling about the situation. You're feeling frustration, you're passing the frustration on to somebody else, and you're getting more fucking frustrated. So now I'm going to digress, because we started with the main topic of setting a goal versus an intention, right? And um, the money hustle is set up to show you that you don't have to hustle for your manifestations. We focus a lot on money, but you don't have to hustle for your manifestations. It's about ease and flow that bring in your manifestations. So setting a goal, right? It's in the energy of that word because of the society. I can feel the tension and the tightness and the hustle and the bustle around having a goal. When you set an intention, that's about ease and flow. And that's how you need to be manifesting, through ease and flow. So drop the idea that you're setting goals for the new year and focus on the fact that you're going to set some intentions, because those intentions can happen faster than what you're expecting. Those intentions may take a little bit longer depending on how you're feeling, but you always have the opportunity to be shifting into what it is that you desire. So, yeah, that's where you need to be with this. And I just gave you an example of how you shift and how it's only ever about you. It's only ever about you and how you're shifting, how you're feeling. That's what produces what you want. So how are you going to get into a better alignment space, right? So I gave you a live example, but I'm going to give you an actual physical, I'm going to give you an actual physical technique to use this month, and go into explaining how you should utilize that.